And welcome back to the channel and to the Ultimate Racing League. We are with our Saturday evening championship, guys, and well, what a fantastic couple of races we've had. We're at Road Atlanta in Georgia. It's a 2.5 mile road course, 12 turns, including the famous S's. And yeah, what a great couple of races we've had. Osman totally dominated race 1. Looked like he was going to do exactly the same in race 2, but Brian Moncani came in on the last couple of laps and really put the pressure on and took P1 away from Osman on the very last lap. And what a great finish those two had. It really was a race down to the last couple of turns. Hoping for a bit more in race 2. Lights starting to fade in Georgia, so it is a reverse grid as well, so we'll have a rundown of the grid and we'll see where everybody is. And as we can see, Fazer is on pole position with Brian the Mechanic in second. He's not really had a great night, has he, in the first 2 races, so he will be looking to make up for it in this final race. Ruthless in third, Stealth in fourth, Wayne G 5th, Derg is 6th, Grasshopper 7th, Peter is 8th, Unforgiven 9th, Osman 10th, and winner of race 2, and what a race it was, it's Brian Moncani all the way back now in 11th. So we will get this race underway. Get the button right, there we go. So Fazer is going to get this race underway. We'll have a look at the tyres in a second. So there's the klaxon, and we are go, and we are racing here at Road Atlanta as Fazer takes us down towards turn 1. Brian the Mechanic just slotting in behind him, and let's just have a look. Stealth and Wayne G already going side by side as they go up the hill towards turn 2. This blind right-hander. So Stealth in 5th, then we've got Grasshopper in 6th, Derg is in 7th, Unforgiven 8th. Everybody jostling for position in these early few turns. Brian Moncani spun it. The winner of race 2 just completely lost the back end as we come out of turn 5. And it was just here, he got on the grass a little bit, probably a bit too much power, and the back end just came round, and it's a kiss with barrier for Brian Moncani. Not the start he wanted for race 3. He was at the back anyway, and that's just put him completely out of touch with the rest of the pack. So let's go back up to the top. Fazer on the medium tyres in the Genesis, still leading on the back straight down towards the chicane. He's got Brian the Mechanic just behind him. Brian the Mechanic on racing hard. Now, he's not had a great 2 races so far, so he really will be trying to make amends in this one. I'm doing okay at the minute on the hard tyres. He's got to get them up to temperature, so he's just got to be a little bit careful with these turns at the minute. And as you can see, he just got himself on the grass there. You've got to give the tyres a chance. It's going to take you 2 or 3 laps to warm them up. Wayne G in 3rd, he's on the mediums, so I would expecting him to be catching up to the back of Brian the Mechanic within the next, well, half a lap or so. Ruthless, he's on the softs. He saved the best till last as Rufus, although kicking up a lot of gravel then. But he really needs to get himself up there in amongst the top 3. He's got Grasshopper just behind him. Grasshopper on the mediums. Derg also on the mediums. So Grasshopper and Derg, I don't know if they've been talking to each other, but they've certainly gone for the same tactics. As we can see, Grasshopper just getting his nose in front of Rufus as we get onto the back straight. It is the GTR against the Lamborghini. Derg in the BMW just sitting behind as we go down the hill towards the chicane for the second time. And Ruthless just staying ahead of Derg. Stealth just getting himself on the dirt. Oh, just keeping hold of it. That's cost him a couple of positions, but he's managed to stay on the track and facing the right direction. So Stealth in 8th, Osman has made his way up into 9th with Unforgiven 10th, and then Brian Moncani all the way down in 11th, still trying to play catch up and on the hard tyres as well. So he really has got a task ahead of him. The back up to the top, Brian the Mechanic leading now, Fazer in 2nd, Wayne G's 3rd. Wayne G will be looking to put the pressure on Fazer very shortly as they go down towards turn 6 and 7. Let's just jump on board with Wayne as we exit turn 7. Get onto the power in that Aston Martin. We've got Grasshopper just sitting behind and Fazer just up ahead, so Wayne will be looking to get in the slipstream, but Grasshopper's in the slip as well. Down to the chicane they go. Everybody just bunching up a little bit, and then when you get on the power you can start to pull away, although Wayne G is now tucked right up underneath Fazer. Fazer just really needs to concentrate on his own race. We can see we've got Brian the Mechanic, he's not that far ahead. So I'm not sure if Brian's had a bit of an issue as well, but these guys have just got right onto the back of him. And I think Bry is just struggling in that Lambo as Wayne G sticks to the back of Fazer as they go through the S's, turns 3 and 4, then into turn 5. This left-hander trying not to go too far out to the right. Everybody through there okay. Now Wayne G really is on the back of Fazer into turn 6. Wayne G will be biding his time. He knows if he can get a good exit out of turn 7, he can probably get a run on Fazer and maybe even get a run on Brian the Mechanic as well as they head down towards the chicane. Grasshopper's there as well. He's just sitting in just underneath Wayne G's rear wing. Well, I don't think the Aston's got the power to get past that Genesis. So everybody as they were into the chicane. This is exactly how they were when they finished the last lap, and they're still down there now. So Brian the Mechanic still in P1, Fazer in 2nd, Wayne G 3rd with Grasshopper 4th. It looks all very scrappy. Oh, Fazer made a mistake and Brian the Mechanic's got off as well. I may have gone back too far, but we're going to follow these guys through. So Brian the Mechanic, I think he's been struggling all night, to be fair, in that Lamborghini. We've crossed the line to start lap 5. We're heading up towards turn 1, and this is where it all went wrong. Well, was there a touch? Let's have a look. I'm not quite sure, really. As we now approach turn 1, we're on board with Fazer. Oh, I think there may have been a little bit of a touchdown. Brian the Mechanic goes spilling off. Fazer thinks he's touched, so he's slowed right down. And that allows the rest of the group to go through. So Wayne G now takes up P1 with Grasshopper in P2 and Ruthless up into 3rd. So Ruthless up there amongst the leaders. Come on, go on, we're rooting for you. We really want Ruthless to do well in this race. He's on the soft tyres, so he's given himself every chance. He's just got to try and keep that Lambo under control. He's got Derg behind him in 4th, but Derg's on the mediums. So Ruthless just needs to concentrate on his own race. Stick to the back of Grasshopper for a few laps. Wayne G out in front. He's on the medium tyres, the same as Grasshopper. So yeah, Ruthless, he just really needs to stick to those two guys, do his own thing. Derg in 4th, Stealth, he's in 5th. He's having a much better race in race 3. He's got Osman all over the back of him though. Osman, remember, started at the back with Brian Moncani, now up into 6th position on the hard tyres. as well is Osman, and it does look like he's going to be challenging Stealth. But the next, oh, as Stealth goes off, it's turn 1 again. It just catches so many people out. So in we go, too much power, and you couldn't get the car to turn, and Stealth across over the grass. Hopefully where's he gone? Hopefully well, he's just waiting for everybody to go by, so Stealth now drops down to 8th. That is so unlucky. Phaser goes through, he's now up into 7th. Unforgiven has moved up into 6th. Osman's 5th. Then we've got Derg in 4th, still stuck to the back of Ruthless. Ruthless in 3rd, with Grasshopper and Wayne G just ahead of him in 2nd, and Wayne in P1. So Ruthless is not letting them get away, is he? He's keeping in touch, which is exactly what he needs to do. Osman now up into 5th. He can see the guys up ahead of him, and we have just gone over halfway as well, so we've got about another 7 minutes to go. So I wouldn't rule Osman out of a podium finish just yet. Unforgiven down in 6th. Then we've got Phaser, Stealth, Brian the Mechanic, and then Pete with Brian Moncani in 11th. Brian really has never recovered, has he? And you can see the gap is well, it's probably what, 2/3 of track, just under 2/3 of a track distance between Brian and Peter. So I think Brian is going to be 11th, and he's probably settled for that as well now. In the meantime, up at the front, Wayne G coming under pressure from Grasshopper. Great racing from these guys. They are literally bumper to bumper as Ruthless goes very wide at turn 7 and picks up a lot of grass. Luckily enough, he's on this back straight now. Then I was going to say, so he can get that dirt off of those tyres, but Ruthless challenged by Derg. Derg gets himself up and ahead of Ruthless and moves up into 3rd. So Ruthless drops down to 4th. Still a good race from him though, and it's not over yet. We've still got about another 5.5 minutes to go, so Ruthless can still get that 3rd podium spot back. Osman in 5th. He'll be doing everything he can to get on the podium as well. And we've got Unforgiven, Phaser, Stealth, Pete, all the guys at the back that have come off the track at some point, which is why they're down there. Oh, Grasshopper has got himself in front. Let's just see whether we can see where that was. And it was, where are we now? Well, we're just coming out of turn 12, and Grasshopper's in the slipstream of Wayne G. And is this where he makes his move? It is, as they get into turn 1. Grasshopper goes up the inside of Wayne G. Wayne G giving Grasshopper quite a lot of room actually. He really did open the door for him. And Grasshopper goes through to take P1 away from Wayne G. Wayne G's just going to sit there though, although he is coming under attack from Derg. So let's jump on board with Derg in the BMW. Oh, as Ruthless has gone off, let's see what's happened to Ruthless. He was having such a good race as well. Now where was it? Just at turn 5. Yeah, he got the back end, just started to come round onto the exit of turn 5, and he's onto the grass. Oh, that's a shame. He's let Osman through to 4th, and he's also got Unforgiven all over the back of him as well. Now we did have a yellow flag, and I can't see what that was for. But maybe Brian Moncani in the way. Brian's just moving out of the way to let Grasshopper through on the straight. So Brian allowing these guys through. Grasshopper in P1 then. Derg into second. Oh, what's happened? Well, we're missing it all here, aren't we? What's going on? This must be what the flag was for then. So Grasshopper have gone through to take the lead of this race. Wayne G slotted in behind in second with Derg in third. We were on board with Derg, weren't we? But I think Wayne G may have had an issue. Now then, what's this yellow flag all about? Grasshopper goes through, Wayne G goes through. Oh, it's Brian. So Brian was there. Oh, what's happened to Wayne G? He's just gone onto the ground. Oh, don't tell me he's had a disconnect. I don't believe it. Wayne G has had a disconnect. Oh, that's all it is, unless he fell asleep at the wheel. But he's gone from second down to fourth. He just drove straight onto the grass. And, well, how's your luck? So let's just have another look from the top then. So Grasshopper is leading at the minute from Derg in second. Osman has made his way up into third and on the podium like we said he would. On the hard tyres as well, and he will be pleased with that. In fact, he probably won't be. He'll be looking at getting that P2 away from Derg. But Osman, a little bit too far back I think for that. But he'll be pleased he's on the podium. Wayne G, is he back up and racing now? It looks like he is. So Wayne G is going to try and get himself on the podium. But he's got Osman in the way first. Unforgiven down in fifth. Ruthless sixth. Oh, and he's going sideways again. Oh, dear me, Ruthless. Gone completely sideways, facing the wrong way. Brian the mechanic down in 10th. It just looks like this is not a track for the Lambos, because Brian the mechanic's been struggling, Ruthless is struggling. Brian Moncani, well, he had that big off, didn't he, very early on, first lap, and never recovered from that. But back up to the top then, and Grasshopper, and Grasshopper actually takes the fastest lap as well, a 1:18.7. Well, that's a bit weird. It's showing that lap 6 was quickest on a 1:19, but it wasn't, because 1:18.7 is the quickest lap. Strange. But Grasshopper leading then. Derg is in second, and he is right up the chuff of Grasshopper. These two have really been battling away over the course of these three races. Whether it be for second, third or fourth, these two have been at it all night. Osman still down in third, with Wayne G fully recovered by the looks of it from his earlier disconnect, and getting closer to Osman. We've got 2 minutes left, so we'll see if Wayne G can get himself on the podium. Then Unforgiven in fifth, not that far behind. Fazer in sixth, with Stealth in seventh, Peter in eighth. Then we've got Brian the mechanic, Ruthless, and then Brian Moncani. Just being lapped by Fazer, so I think Brian Moncani has definitely given up on this race, and he's just taking his time. So back up to the top then, with just coming up to the last minute. Grasshopper still out in front from Derg, and it is these two just battling it out for the win. Unfortunately, Osman is just too far back to get involved in that race. So Osman just got to concentrate on staying in third and taking the podium. He'll be pleased with that, considering he started at the back. So it really is Grasshopper and Derg fighting it out. I'm just having a look to see if we can find another battle anywhere, and I don't think we can. Everybody's well, pretty spaced out really. So the closest we've got to a race is for the win. So we are now 20 seconds left. So as Grasshopper and Derg cross the line to start their last lap, it looks like Grasshopper clocked up another fastest lap. So let's just have a look and see who's going to be finishing. So we've got 3, 2, 1 seconds. So Oz has gone through, Wayne G's gone through, Unforgiven has gone through. So the first to cross the line will be Phaser in 6th position. So well done to Phaser. Stealth just coming around turn 12. He will cross the line in 7th. Peter will finish in 8th. Definitely a bit of lag going on there for Peter. Brian the Mechanic will finish in 9th. He'll be glad to see the back of this track, I'm sure. Then we've got Ruthless in 10th. And Brian Moncani in 11th. So Brian pulls up short. Brian the Mechanic still doing some circus acts across the line. So just going to go back a little bit and follow Grasshopper and Derg through. So it is the race towards the chicane. This is the final lap for these two. So if Derg wants to take that position away from Grasshopper, he's got to do it now as they head down towards the chicane. Oh, and a bit of a bump there from Derg to Grasshopper, as if to tell him get out of my way, but Grasshopper's having none of that. Fantastic race from Grasshopper, and will come across the line to take the win. Well done to him. Derg in 2nd. Fantastic racing from Derg. Osman in 3rd. He'll be pleased with that from starting from 11th, and then Wayne G in 4th with Unforgiven in 5th. Well, that was round 4 at Road Atlanta. I'm not sure where we are next week, but Ruthless Rufus will be covering next week's race. So if you want to catch up on that, then tune in to his channel, and I shall catch you all shortly for our Sunday championship for the League 4 guys, and it is the final round at the Nürburgring, the 24-hour layout. So keep an eye out for that. That will probably be, I shall do that as a stream, I think. And I'll do that a little bit later. So catch you all soon.